Welcome everyone to the IMEC Conference 2023. It's an honor and privilege to guide you today through the day here. And it seems if I look into the room that either IMEC or Southampton is extremely popular. The room is full. So thank you very much for turning up in such large numbers. Today we are celebrating 30 years of IMEC. We are celebrating in particular the next 30 years. However, last night we had a celebration of also the last 30 years. And we are celebrating an organization that came to life without anybody noticing on Twitter or a status update or a TikTok video. It just appeared in a very old-fashioned way. Today, it's pivoting. We are looking into the next 30 years. Those of you who have been here last night noticed IMEC has changed considerably. What we're looking at is a new logo, a new website, and a new appearance of IMEC, which marks the 30th birthday and which marks also the start into the next couple of years. Typically, the 30th birthday can be a tricky one. People they feel like they have grown up and doesn't feel very good for everyone. But as Hervey Allen said, you only live fully between 30 and 60. Before that, you're a slave to your dreams, and afterwards, you're a servant to your regrets. So the next 30 years will be really good ones, it seems. An IMEC conference is something very special in our industry. It's free of charge. You don't have to pay hundreds of thousands of pounds to come here. For members or non-members, you're all very welcome here. And as Francesco put it last night, we are here to talk about issues and not sales. So we really want you to talk with the panels, with the speakers, and among yourselves. So we ask you to join discussions, and to do so, we are using, for the panel discussions, Slido. I think most of you are familiar with that. We will put up for every single panel discussion a QR code on the big screens, which you can then screen with your phone. And we ask you to ask questions, to contribute, to become part of the public discussion here in the room. The day is structured in 4 main parts. The first large session will cover leadership issues. We will look into the market. What is the labor market actually looking for seafarers? And secondly, we have kind of the helicopter view on political issues. So we try to contextualize that. And the second one, we are looking into careers for all, and here Francesco is taking a panel with seafarers. Because that's those we are talking about, and we are not only talking about seafarers, we are talking with seafarers. And that's how we want to start this off. And in the second part of that session, we are looking into diversity. We are coming from a long history of seamen, of, as somebody said, the boys in our fleet. And we are in a transition phase where seafarers are becoming much more diverse, and how to become more diverse and be successful on that, we will talk about that. Third big session, and that's the first one in the afternoon, is about automation, and that ties into the last conference of IMEC in 2019. So we are talking about technology a little bit, but more than in the second panel, which is then the third panel overall, we are looking into what does technology actually do to seafarers? What does disruption mean? A term we have been using now for a decade, quite a lot. But practically, for seafarers, does it help or does it hinder? Does it enhance jobs or does it make jobs worse, or does it even make jobs redundant? That's what we want to learn. And then we're also looking into the training aspect. How do we train seafarers, and how do we upskill seafarers not in the faraway future, right now. Final session, we are going beyond shipping. We are looking into aviation. We have the experience that aviation has gathered a lot of experience before us, a few years ahead sometimes, and we want to see if that's true and what we can learn from that technology-wise, but also in safety issues and in training. What we are looking at today, and maybe we should keep that in mind throughout the day, is the year 2053. That is in 30 years' time. How will the world look like in 2053? Shipping will be on a net zero basis, at least that's what we claim. Aviation will be also CO2 neutral, possibly, and several continents also claim to be CO2 neutral by then. We hope to get there, 30 years' time, but we have to manage it. It doesn't happen automatically. We may, and this is also what today's conference is about, say, well, shipping has always been about change. We came from sailing to steam engines to diesel engines, and it moves, and now we're talking about methanol and ammonia and many other ways to propulse for the propulsion side. Quite a few of these technical changes have been extremely radical. Seafarers had to adapt to them already generations before us. And you may say, well, things will happen automatically. But now we believe it doesn't happen automatically. Change is coming much faster. We are in a globally networked economy. And we can't wait for things to trickle down slowly. They will trickle down very quickly. And the seafarers have to adapt to that. Finally, that also means that IMEC as an organization has to adapt to this new world. And as we heard already yesterday and last night, IMEC is evolving as an organization from purely negotiating CBAs to moving strongly into training. I think, even though I can't speak for the ITF, but also the ITF is evolving. We will talk about that and hear about that as an organization, and the partnership is certainly also evolving, and that'll be at the center of some of our discussions today. Before we start with the president of IMEC and his keynote speech, I would like to invite Admiral Santos from AMASUP, from the Philippines, to come up here, and he would like to give a message to IMEC. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Max. The chair of IMEC, CEO, Mr. Steve Cotton of ITF. This is very short. I'd just like to present, in behalf of Dr. Conrad Oka, the president of AMASUP and the chairman of the Maritime Academy of Asia and the Pacific, we send our greetings on your anniversary and congratulate you for the job that you have done for the last 30 years. And most specifically, our heartfelt appreciation and gratefulness for your support, as well as our unprecedented collaboration during the pandemic for the safe corridor and for the vaccination. And we're certainly very happy that we were able to go through it. We survived the pandemic, and hopefully everything is picking up. So looking at the next 30 years, I'd like to present a token. This is the artist's conception of the modern, new IMEC academic building at MAAP. It will house all of the IMEC cadets. We're trying to make it as modern as we can. I guess that's how the next 30 years will look like. We're going to train and develop cadets to become officers and work in tandem with IMEC, with the continuation of the seafaring industry in our part of the world. So once again, congratulations, and here's the next 30 years.